and welcome to Playing by Ear. I'm Doug.
I'm Kyle.
And I'm Amy.
Each episode of this podcast, one of us or a guest will bring an album they love to be presented and analyzed track by track to explore what makes it special and why they think it's not just worth playing, but replaying. This episode, I'm bringing I've Tried Everything But Therapy, Part 1 by Teddy Swims.
Here we go, guys.
Yeah, let's do this.
This is new.
New stuff. So why I picked this album is where we always start, right? Why did I choose this as the assignment? I wanted to do something that was recent. This is a 2023 album, so it doesn't get too much more recent than that. And this was an album. I don't think it's a perfect album. I have plenty of criticism for it, but there's some very high highs on this. And I think Teddy Swims is a very talented vocalist for reasons we'll get into. I think this style suits his voice. And when this thing is firing on all cylinders, it's very impressive. Again, not to say this is a perfect album, but it shows a lot of promise. And overall, it won me over the first time I heard it. We'll talk about the tracks individually, of course, but I remember hearing Lose Control, and that was the one that made me kind of stand up and take notice and go, okay, I guess I better listen to this. And I found a lot of other things to like on this as well. So that's why I picked it, and I will hand it off to, I guess, Kyle to talk about your personal experience, if you have any.
Yeah, this is quick. Zilch, don't know it, never heard of it. There was Lose Control felt a little familiar. But yeah, I mean, I don't even think I heard the name Teddy Swims since, you announced it last podcast. So that's all I got on that.
Okay. Well, for me, I've definitely heard of him. I've definitely heard Lose Control, and there's one or two others on the album that I've heard before. I'm pretty sure it's because of Pandora, and my musical taste is pretty much along the lines of a Teddy Swims type, very like James Morrison-esque, I would say. So this is the kind of music that would show up on my Pandora. But aside from what you've played in the car, Doug, I haven't done a deep dive into his work really at all. So a lot of this was new for me.
Yeah, the Lose Control, was the big, a monster hit. The album itself hit number one. Lose Control, I think, sold 10 million copies as a single. It was a huge, huge, huge single. And I'm pretty sure that's how I heard it as well. Probably because I think Celeste wanted to listen to Taylor Swift on Pandora or something that told the algorithm, pull recent current hit songs. And it pulled this. And I was like, well, this is interesting because we'll get into overall thoughts and impressions, but the sound of his voice is very Sam Cooke. And I do like me some Sam Cooke. And so that kind of got my interest as well. But in terms of personal experience, that's it. It was just like, getting that introduction to it and then going, well, I should go check this out, and then checking it out. But it's hard to talk about personal experience for an album that's, basically 2 years old.
Have you listened to the album in its entirety before bringing it to us? Or
yes.
Just a couple of songs that you knew? Okay.
No, I had listened to the entire thing, and it's short. It's barely a half an hour long.
Yeah.
So I had listened to the entire thing before I made that choice to bring it to the podcast several times. So,
gotcha. Okay.
So yeah. So I guess we'll move over to overall thoughts and impressions, starting with Kyle.
Yeah, initially, I got it. I understood it right away. Soulful voice, positives, right? Soulful voice for sure. There's definitely quality songwriting in there. There's not quality songwriting in there too, so we'll get to that fun. But the voice came off very, very pop to me. And maybe it wasn't just the voice alone, but I think it was the blend of the voice with the music. There's some songs, some quieter songs where he's broken down to just him and an instrument, where it gives a certain vibe. But then there's also the songs that are full on produced. And I feel like it's a very, very wide range of sort of, I don't know about the style, because his voice is pretty close the whole time, but it covers a lot of range. With what his voice, I guess the music covers a lot of range of what his voice does, because when you have the broken down and then you have the full produced. So I like that it was produced, but I didn't really like the sound of his voice, and it's probably just a personal thing, again, like we've dealt with on this podcast with my style. It is, I see how it's in Amy's vein because it's songwritery, but it's not completely done like a singer-songwriter with so much production in some spots. So yeah, initially did not love it, but some stuff really grew on me and some stuff got worse as it went by. So I look forward to going through it with you guys.
Okay.
Yeah, this was a little bit tough, and I'm not sure why. It really falls into this should be an Amy hit. This should be absolutely what Amy loves. And there's some songs on here that are really high. There's not that are really low. Like, I don't hate this album at all. I don't really think it's a fail at all. I just am not in love with it, and I can't tell you why. I don't know if it, to me, is very single note, like, not, he's got range, I'm not saying he doesn't, but it's kind of how you guys felt about James, I think, where you didn't feel like there was enough dynamics. And I mean, he does the slow and the fast and like the more pop and the more ballad, but I don't know, after a couple of songs I kind of just feel like I get it and I've heard it, and I'm not getting, like, the more I go on, I'm not getting more, if that makes sense. So yeah, we'll go through individual tracks. There's definitely some that are very high enough. There's nothing that's, I think, below a 70. So this isn't like a total disaster. I'm sure I'll hear some of these songs again. I can't really put my mind on it. Maybe it's like the production. It feels very produced, even though it's like very raw and he's emoting very well. Is there like synth behind, like fake drums or something? Like, something about it feels forced. I don't know, guys. I don't know.
I do. I think.
Okay, good.
Let me give you my take.
I got some stuff on this too. Yeah.
I'm sorry, because I thought, not to like, I felt like when you picked this, you were like, oh, this is going to be a slam dunk. This is an Amy, I don't think you picked it because of that, but I think that was kind of the expectation. So I feel a little bit like bummed out that I don't love it.
No, first of all, I didn't calculate that, I'm picking this because you in particular
No, and I don't
like
think
it.
you did, but I think that
What
was
is the Amy algorithm?
Yeah, this is kind of fits in there, but it didn't work. Okay, sorry to cut you off.
Here's my thesis on like what works and what doesn't work. Part of to me, the major sin of the album, to the extent it's like you can call it that, there's two things. One, there's too many cooks. There, as we talked about off mic, normally we go through this and we list like, this song was written by so and so and so and so. There's so many writers on all of these songs that I think that usually heralds a problem, right? You don't have a singular vision, you don't have a singular voice, and that may be because Teddy Swims is a very good vocalist and a very good performer, but he's maybe not the strongest writer, so they're trying to, like, here, we'll get you a songwriter. But they didn't just give him one songwriter, they gave him 20 people, on all these different songs, so there isn't a unified vision. The other problem with it is there are too many slow songs. And with an album that's only 10 tracks, the problem is they're not spread out even. Like, the first half of this album is way strong, and then it falls off toward the second half because there's just one too many slow songs in a row. And that was one of the reasons why, before we convened on this, I was really going back and forth, because there is I've Tried Everything But Therapy Part 1.5 that was released about 8 months later that has 4 additional tracks on it. They're overall very strong, and at least 2, if not 3 out of the 4 are way more high energy stuff that, like, it has way more, those songs have way more in common with the best things on this album. So that's why I was kind of like, oh, maybe this would up the average. If you guys listen to some of these, you'd be like, oh, damn, this is great. Like, and what it is I get the impression that they were really excited to work with this guy because of his obvious talent, and that they were feeling prolific. Obviously, they're writing all these songs, and they're like, put them out. Here's the album. Here's 10. And then they come up with these other 4 songs. And I kind of wish it was like, if you would just waited and then thought, ooh, wait, we've got these other ones. Take those other ones off.
Or just made it an EP of 7 songs and it would have been better.
Yeah. It's one of those things where it's like, oh, man, if you had just waited, you had a couple of more. If you only knew, you had some really great stuff coming down the pike. I'll talk about them a little bit when we get to the end. We're not scoring those or anything, but I wanted to highlight them because I think some of those tracks are awesome. And
I think I read this. I could be getting this confused, but I think it was that he was doing really well on TikTok, and I don't remember if it was like his original or covers. And so I get the vibe that they were just like, get something out,
Mm-hmm.
get this guy in front of people, and they didn't have enough editing.
Yeah, and
They
it's
didn't, yeah, they just, and then I think I totally read too that they looked back on the album. I might be making this up, but that they looked back and they were like, oh, that wasn't necessarily our best cut. And that's why he's got these like follow up part 1.5. I think there's even another one
well,
after
there's a point.
1.5.
Well, there's a part 2, but that's an entirely new set of stuff. It's not.
Okay.
It's not even like a bonus version or a reissue of this,
Uh-huh.
which I have not listened to, so I can't comment on it. But he did say something about the 1.5, these 4 tracks where they just felt like we just wrote these and we loved them, we wanted to get them out there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, but man, would they have like helped this album be even better? Because there's a couple of ones on there that I'm like, man, this is so good.
Yeah.
I wish it was on the main album. So I will recommend those, even if you guys I know we're not as like high on it. Like at least give them a listen once to go like, oh, there's some good stuff there. So yeah, those are my overall thoughts, impressions. Again, you give me a guy who sounds like Sam Cooke, and with a backing track that mostly sounds kind of like, the stuff you would do with the Temptations, right? It was like, oh, like I wish there was a throwback like this. And then he came along. And so I was really happy with that. So like, again, but not all my scores are going to be in the stratosphere. Like there's this other stuff in the album, mostly towards the back half, that I was kind of just like, it goes out with a whimper, not with a bang. So not a perfect album, but a lot of great stuff to talk about nonetheless. So with that, let's get into it.
Yeah, so let's get started. So, first off, the album was released September 15th, 2023, and kind of going on what you said, Aim, so 2 singles were released before this album came out. It's almost like they had a single, oh, let's have another single, and then, oh, I guess these are doing good, let's get an album out. So the album ended up coming out in September. The singles before that, which we'll get to those dates when we hit the songs. This song reached number 17 on the top 200 Billboard. It was all over the world. I think it was number 1 in many countries. In America, it got to number 17. Produced some hits, and we'll start with the first track here. So we're going to go in a Kyle, Amy, Doug rotation, which means I'll kick us off. So track number 1. Well, first off, let me just say that I'm going to reiterate what Doug said about there being so many damn songwriters on this. We're just not going to go through them because looking at this first song, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's like 6 or 7, maybe 8, maybe 7 songwriters. So many of the songs are like that. So good job, songwriters, but we're not going to call it out. You're going to have to go look it up yourself, people. So track number 1, this is a song called Some Things I'll Never Know.
Walking down the street last night, watching strangers pass me by. Where do all our shadows go? I guess some things I'll never know. I can fool my senses for a little while, but some things are too hard to reconcile. When I look into your eyes, there's no answers I can find. It's a feeling that I've never known. When I'm wide awake tonight, running circles in my mind, there's an answer I can't find. When did your heart let me go? I guess some things I'll never know. I guess some things I'll never know.
This song is 4 minutes and 2 seconds, which is actually the longest song on the album, on this little shorty. So I'm going to get us going here. Happy to get us going. This is a solid track. When I first heard it, I'm like, oh, okay, it's going to be an album of ballads. So it did what Big Runga did, which is it put a really quiet song, but a strong one up front. So yeah, I was surprised that the intro track here never kicked in. I never went for it. But, big but, this is solid. The lyrics are great. I can relate to these lyrics. He just kind of goes through these things of some things I'll never know, which is really easy to relate to. The melody throughout the whole song is very good. I think the pre-chorus is amazing. Super strong pre-chorus. Just overall, it's just very melodic, really nice chorus, a very beautiful song. I would love to hear this song in a coffee shop. I would love to hear this song live in an arena with 30,000 people. This is just good quality songwriting by like 55 songwriters, but good quality songwriting. Yeah, this is great. Whether it's a good lead-off track or not, let's see how this album goes, but I was happy after I heard this one a few times up front. Aim?
Okay. Yeah, there's some things that you said that I agree with. I think there's a really pretty pre-chorus. You know, it's got a nice, pretty melody overall. He's got a great voice. The piano's really pretty. I don't feel as positive about it, even though it's strong-ish. I mean, it's got these really good things going for it. It's another one of those things where I just like can't put my finger on why it doesn't work. Some other commentary, I think it starts off really sounding like Walking in Memphis, like the very slow beginning part.
Mm-hmm.
I think the melody.
Put on my blue suede shoes and I'm boarding the plane.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's got like similar qualities.
And what's that Rascal Flatts song that you and Cammy used to sing?
Broken Road.
That reminds me of that too.
Oh, yeah. I love that
It's
song.
the same chords, I think, as this.
Oh, okay.
Or Feel or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was a little bit too boring. Maybe it was too long. I didn't realize it was the longest one on the album. I don't think it had a bridge. I wish it did. I wish it kind of changed and gave me a little bit more. Being a 4-minute song, I kind of wanted it to go someplace else. What else? I thought the lyrics were pretty basic. Like, this to me kind of is like every song I've ever heard. The lyrics aren't really giving me much. I did think it was a good start. It set the emotional tone of the album. It was really telling you what you're about to get. I mean, he's very true to himself. I mean, even if he has 50 writers, they're still able to pull out like the best of him and get that rasp of his voice and get the melodies. There's something there. I still think it needs a stronger head, a producer, something to like make it more dynamic. So this was okay for me. It's not a terrible, none of these songs are terrible songs.
I like this one. This one has grown on me a bit. You, Kyle, you and Amy, you both mentioned the pre-chorus. Overall, on this album, pre-choruses are good. They're real good. In fact, there's some great ones coming up. They know how to write a pre-chorus on this album. It's that, I can fool my senses for a little while. Like those little sections are so good. And then like what he does is, I agree with you. I think any song that's generally this slow and this long, you've got to do something as it goes on to change it up a little. It doesn't mean that the song needs to speed up. That's not what this song is. He does it a little bit because he starts adding these more like elaborate vocal runs, which I will not attempt to do, but he does them really well. And I think that's what he adds. I think they add a little bit of like harmony to some of these portions. I think if they added even more harmonies, that's probably where you would find the places to add intensity to this, to give it a little more like special feel or make it feel like, oh, now it's different as opposed to the last two go arounds of the verse and the chorus. And I agree with you, Kyle. I question whether this is the lead-off track or not. I think that, you could make an easy argument that the next track would make a great lead-off track, more so than this one, but it is pretty. And I do like it. As we'll see, there's a few too many songs like it in the back half of the album, which I think retroactively hurts this a little bit. But looking at it in an isolated way, just this one song by itself, this is strong. I think it's good. The other thing I will say about the lyrics is I think they're okay, but he does have several songs in terms of, again, repeating things in the album. There's several songs where the general motif of the lyrics are, I'm so in love with you, I don't even know how to process it. That's a lot of the songs. And so like I started taking notes of like, oh good, he's changed. He's not writing a song about how he loves someone so much he can't even express how he feels about it. So yeah. So like overall, I think I'm probably in between you two on this song if I had to guess on the numbers.
Let's see how that plays out here. You guys ready for some stats?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm probably going to be the highest out of the three. I'm all the way up there at an 88 for this one.
75.
80. I was right.
Boom.
close.
It's pretty
Yeah.
predictable, guys. We know what we're doing here.
Yep.
All right, 10-song album, done with a lead-off track, and on to number 2, which is the hit. This is Lose Control.
Something's got a hold on me lately. No, I don't know myself anymore. Feels like the walls are all closing in, and the devil's knocking at my door. Whoa, out of my mind. How many times did I tell you I'm no good at being alone? Yeah, it's taking a toll on me. Trying my best to keep from tearing the skin off my bones. Don't you know I lose control when you're not next to me? I'm falling apart right in front of you. Can't you see? I lose control when you're not next to me. Yeah, you're breaking my heart, baby. You make a mess of me. Problematic. Problem is I want your body like a fiend, like a bad habit.
This is 3.5 minutes, just like a pop song is. This was the second single. This was a Billboard #1. It was #1 all over the damn place, all over the world. When I scrolled down the list, it just kept going. I think there was like, maybe not #1 everywhere, but at least like 30 countries it was in the top 50 or whatever. So, Lose Control. Amy, do it.
Yeah, I think one of the negatives for me is that it was so overplayed that by the time it got time to like really dive in and listen to it, I was like, I've heard this song a million times before. Now I have to like listen to it even, 10 more times or whatever I did. So that was basically only the negative. I really liked his vocals were really raw. It's got a good, strong melody. There's some vocal breaks that are really, is that the right, like his voice breaks at certain parts, like
Rasps, little rasp happening.
yeah, actually, but he hits a note and then it falls off a little bit, but it sounds good. I don't know if I'm explaining it, but whatever. I really like, and maybe my favorite part of this was that, the song's about lose control, and I thought that the music really matched that. There's something about like the tension, you can feel it in the music, and I thought that was really cool. So whoever produced this, great job. There's a guitar break, which is cool. Yeah, overall, just it's pretty strong. This makes sense that this was the first breakout hit for him.
Yeah, as I said, this was the song I heard that, again, breakout hit was everywhere. This was the thing that grabbed me and made me listen to more. I mean, this is a spectacular song. I think this is, it's so confident the way it just hits with that just bump, 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 bump. Like the production is like, it's strong, but it never overpowers him. It complements him really well, even though they're going for a very, again, like throwback Phil Spector Wall of Sound kind of thing. Like this does sound like it could be like a Marvin Gaye song or something, the way this is put together. It's mostly minor key, which like big thumbs up. This is a great minor key song. And again, talk about a pre-chorus, man. The pre-chorus is actually pretty long on this song. Like he starts with this like, out of my mind, da 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 da, and he builds and builds and builds until he gets to I lose control. And then it like even just as he hits that, just before he's like, I'm falling apart right in front of you, can't you see? And then percussively just this boom, like there's the theatricality to this is so like strong. They really figure out when should certain instruments be used, when should they not be used. And all the while, like his vocals on this are just impeccable. He goes on some crazy runs through this just to kind of like maybe just show off that he can, but like this is the reason I'm sure people we're like, let's get this guy into a booth because he can do this stuff. So like, yeah, I have nothing but good things to say about this, even though again the one knock is like lyrically it's the same concept as some of the other songs, but yeah, it's hard to argue with a hit this big. Like it deserves it.
Yeah, 6/8. So 6/8, you know, you're thinking slow, waltzy, and it's kind of, if you just look at the tempo alone, this is a slow song, but it doesn't feel like a ballad at all. It kind of pumps you a little bit. It feels good. Makes sense that this was the pop radio hit. It feels like it. It feels radio friendly. When I first heard it, it felt familiar, but not in a way to where like I think I've actually heard it before, but it just felt like what the world is right now. It kind of made sense. But I didn't hate it. I think it grew on me as I went through this album, and I probably listened to this album probably about 10, I want to say. I got through a few, and I had a hard time getting over the hump, but once I started rocking and moving, I started listening and really liking this one. Very hooky chorus. The verses are super solid. I like that second verse where he's kind of to the man of I don't know what the words are, but he kind of does it in this way where he's almost kind of rapping a little bit, and I like that because it's melodic and you can just kind of feel him. It's really nice.
The one that starts with problematic.
Problematic, yeah. I love how he says that. Like you said, Doug, minor. If it's minor like this, and we're gonna have some more minor songs coming up, which is really cool here. It's a minor melodic song. I like it. Amy, you mentioned the guitar. That's a guitar solo. I was actually pretty impressed to hear a guitar solo like that bust out. It wasn't very flashy. It was no CC DeVille on Flesh and Blood. It was just a quick, melodic, little cool sounding guitar tone solo. Liked it. I don't hear that anywhere else on this album, so it was nice. And yeah, right on. Cool track.
Yeah, imagine if we'd gotten that Poison guitar player on all of these tracks on his own album. Okay, so for me, it's an 85.
I give it a 96.
Cool.
96. Wow. Okay, for me, it's an 83. Still over the 80 line.
And guys, I'm gonna need you to sing the next one a little bit for me.
What more can I say?
That's not helping.
I'll sing a little of it when we start. This is mine, but Kyle, do the introduction.
Okay. So track number 3 here is What More Can I Say?
Drunken raves came storming in. 5 a.m. you woke me up again. Cause the double's on ice and your friend Diane got you all up in your head again. About a picture on my phone from a girl I used to know. That you're searching flights back home. I'm like, please don't go. Got my heart rate up real high. Vocabulary running low. Out of breath I keep going and going. Oh no, if I'm a record then I'm broke. You don't like my song no more. And all I need to know is what more can I say to you, baby? When I'm out of words, you haven't heard of love. Can't make you stay. It's your play. So tell me what more can I say? Beat me up and leave me black and blue. Do whatever bad you gotta do. Throw the dirty laundry in the street. Chip the critic, now you
This is a quickie. This is only 221, and this was actually the first single that was released that didn't chart at all. In fact, it was only like about a month and a half later where he released the second song, Lose Control, that went big. So I'm sure eventually this song probably got some radio play. And that's about it. Doug, do it.
Yeah, so this is another one with great energy to it, right? This is upbeat, more so than Lose Control. This is the most upbeat one we've done yet. This is like, if Lose Control is kind of a Marvin Gaye-ish song, this one is Earth, Wind, and Fire. It opens with that really, like, I don't think it's a seventh, like, or something chord, but those harmonics is, just that, like, as it opens up. And then one of the other things that's real cool about it is, you pointed this out with that problematic section. The has the lyrics problematic, not a problematic problem with the song. But every once in a while, like I think the cadence of the delivery matters, and that definitely is true. Like he's real smooth as he's like, just like drunken rage came storming in 5 a.m. You woke me up again because the double's on ice on your friend. Like he's really like rhythmic as he's going through these words here, and bouncing, and then he gets that "What more can I say?" Like again, very Earth, Wind, and Fire as he's like helped out by all of these. It may just be himself harmonizing with himself, but they're multi-part harmonies that are really good. So this one's just a nice solid groove. So I really appreciated this one. The other thing I wanted to point out is in terms of the production, like the verses, they really contrast the production on the verses versus the chorus. So like on the verse, it's mostly just like that thumping, just do 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 do, and then a little like guitar, just like da-da, da-da, like kind of staccato. And then when he gets to "What more can I say?" they bring in way more like backing and instruments and stuff. But keeping the verses kind of sparse, I think, really helps. Again, bring his voice to the forefront, and with the rhythmic patterns that this song is built on.
Okay. I got lots to say about this one because there's some high highs and there's some low lows. And the score is going to end up being pretty down the middle, but there's criticisms. So the feel is good. I mean, you can't deny that feel is nice. The problem is that it's not original. I've heard that 50 times before, and specifically when he's doing the verse, that's Mary J. Blige from that song that she did like 20 years ago. It's the exact same thing. Not the same lyrics. It's the same rhythm. You know that he was inspired by that. So it loses a little bit of originality for me. I mean, then overall, even though the feel does feel good, I feel like I have heard it many times before. So the fact that it doesn't feel like fresh and new and original, it definitely loses some stuff. That aside, it still feels really nice, and the melodies that are happening there are pretty solid. It's definitely not as good as the first two tracks. So when I got to this, I'm like, okay, now you had the first song, which was a ballad, and the second one was like a pop one. This was kind of like, oh, okay, it's pop again. We're doing another one of the pop. What happened to the first song? So it was kind of similar to me than Lose Control, but not as good. It did grow on me over time, the chorus especially. I like that it's minor. This is another minor song. This is good stuff. And I think at this point in the album, I kind of like where it's going. There was that first ballad, and then there were these two kind of minor-y songs, although this one was not as original for me as the first. Lose Control was very original. This just felt like I've heard it a bunch. So, but still, some really good catchy hooks in there. So, mixed. Go ahead, Aim.
Yeah, it's great that you said that you feel like you've heard it before, because that's exactly what I wrote down. Doug, you can confirm. I wrote, not super original. I feel like I've heard before. Unfortunately, even though I feel like I've heard it before, I have no memory of the song. Like, that's how not memorable it is to me. I had to have the guy sing it. And even though, Doug, you sang it, I still am like, I don't remember. And I swear, I listened to this album like 20, 25 times. This one just did not stick in the brain for me. These are the things I wrote down, not based on my memory. It has a beat.
It sure does.
It does. It's there.
It does have a beat.
They hired drummers and everything.
It has relatable lyrics. There's a really nice run. I underlined, I'm like, please. So he did some nice runs in there. Good job, Teddy. Repetitious, song doesn't get more interesting. And here's another criticism. And it didn't rate terrible, guys. It never does on this album. But there's a lot of babies on this album. I think it's overall. I don't think it's just this track.
The word baby?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't
love
recognize that. Interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot of babies. And I don't know if that's a way to fill space or what that is. It's just kind of, it's a thing I noticed. So do with that what you would like.
She prefers shouty is what she wants.
Yeah. So that's all I have to say about that one.
Okay.
That's it.
I gave it an 88.
Jesus.
All right. So this one's, it's still a 71. It's respectable.
Ooh, I got a 72 on you.
Right around the same. Okay.
Yep. Sorry, I can't remember all these things. Maybe I should be listening before I jump into these podcasts with you guys, these recordings.
Yeah. I mean, we could always take breaks, but we got our notes, right? We base it on our notes.
No, we're good. We're good. I think I remember most of the other ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So track number 4 is The Door. It rhymes. Track number 4, The Door.
I took a page out of your favorite book.
332. This was the third single. This was one, and this third single actually came out like a year after the first two, so it must have got re-released or something. Just like the first track, it was all over the Billboard charts. It got to number 24 here in the U.S. and all over the place everywhere else. All right, The Door, it's my turn to get us going. So another minor song. I was already like, cool, we're still doing minor stuff. The melody and the feel is cool. It's nice. It feels kind of pop. Still doesn't feel... It doesn't... I still feel like we're not as good as the first two songs. Like, it can't get quite back to there. But I still like this one. It was kind of hooky. I actually didn't write down too much to say about this one. For some reason, this song is actually not very memorable to me, which is interesting because it's kind of on the high end of the songs that I rated, but I just can't play it in my head like I can for actually most of the album, I can imagine. But still, I remember liking this one. I feel like it belonged around this point in the album. I feel like any of these first four songs could have been a leadoff track because they're all fairly strong. Yeah, off to you, Amy.
For me, this song was the breakout star. Like, this is the song of the album. This is the track.
Okay.
This is the one that should have been thrown out first. Not thrown out, but released first. I think the song has everything going for it, and I think it's my highest score. I instantly liked it. I circled the babies, though, so there's your con. I thought it had a really strong pre-chorus. I really liked it. There's this soaring music. There's some transitions that are really nice. I think it's from the first chorus to the next verse. It kind of just like goes into it. I'm not going to sing it for you, but I liked how it kind of went right into it. Like on the I don't know. I'm not going to pretend to know. I just think it's a good song. It's a good, I lost my notes. It's very vibey and sing-alongable. And one thing that I think is really cool, that it just has this like very abrupt ending. Like the door slammed, like it closed the door. And I just thought that was like kind of a cool, like cheeky way to like end the song based on the tone and the lyrics of like, I think it's kind of like a fuck you song. So I thought that was kind of cool. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Off to you.
I agree with you. I think this is absolutely stellar. This is, for me, it's neck and neck with Lose Control as like, is this the better song? Like, again, minor key. If there's a touch point that I talked about Earth, Wind and Fire and then Marvin Gaye for Lose Control. This is the Temptations. This has picture like a slightly faster or version of I Heard It Through the Grapevine, something like that. Like it's got this really good, there's doom, 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 bass line to kind of hold it together. And again, he's got that. The musicality of the words and the rhythmic way he delivers that. That's all solid here. This is again another amazing pre-chorus, and there's some good theatricality to it too, where it's like, where he sings like something. He says like, I don't have it written down, but he says like no before he says this line. So it's like no, no, da, 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 no, but like he's kind of doing this call and response to himself as it kind of builds and builds to the chorus where it really bursts open. And I really like the lyrics here because they are more complex of a thought than just like, I'm so in love with this person, I don't know what to do. This is I don't think it's a fuck you song, but it's definitely a breakup song. That's what I saved my life when I showed you the door. Because he is singing about how much he loves this person, but he's singing about how like this relationship is obviously unhealthy and so it needs to end.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a really that's a much more mature concept to write about. And he says, no more thinking about you late night. No more running around with your friends now. Done picking up pieces of my soul up off the floor. And then, that chorus is so memorable. I love that. The way his voice is reaching, like, I said I would die for you, baby. Like he's right at the top there as he kind of screams that out. This is just, I think, just really incredible and like one of the major highlights of the album. So I rated this very high.
All right.
Okay.
You guys are going to be a lot higher than me, but mine's still pretty up there. 77.
77's not up there. This is a 90.
I'm way up there. I give it a 98. I love this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez, he's not that good.
We had a wide range between us. We should keep a stat of the widest range between songs. So that was what, a 77 to a 98. So like about
like
20-ish.
20, yeah.
Okay. All right. We're moving on. This is the end of the first side of the album here. This song is called Goodbye's Been Good to You.
Goodbye, my love. You tore me up. I heard you found somebody new. Looks like goodbye's been good to you. Good days are gone, and I can't move on quite as easy as you do. Looks like goodbye's been good to you. I've been hurting since you walked out the door. Nothing's working like the way it did before. Oh, I cry, oh, I cry, oh, I pray a little to the Lord. Oh, I try, but it only makes me miss you more. You took the dog in the Honda and half my shit. Kinda mad that my mama cause y'all still friends. I gotta move, so I never gotta see you again. I never see you again, so long. Goodbye, my love. You tore me up. I heard you found somebody new. Looks like goodbye's been good to you. Good days are gone, and I can't move on quite as easy as you do. Looks like goodbye's been good to you.
2 minutes and 44 seconds. And Amy.
All right, this one is also another really strong one for me. It's upbeat, it's got a cool vibe. I think the lyrics are good and how he sings them is really strong. There's a strong verse. Yes. Now I'm not sure if I'm right. I wrote down strong verse. I thought it sat in the perfect spot for his vocals. Like he was really hitting really well on this one. There's some really good harmonies. I don't know if he's doing his own harmonies. It sounds really good though. What else? I thought it was kind of a bummer how it ended. Like I didn't think it had a very strong ending. But overall, like I think that the melody and his vocals are really strong. I didn't really read the lyrics too much on this album. But I will try to read them now, so I have more commentary on lyrics. Usually for me, if they're really strong lyrics, I'm commenting. If they're just kind of meh, I'm not saying a ton about them, so that's where I'm at. But yeah, I like this one a ton. It's pretty high.
Yeah, I'm with you on the lyrics for this one. Again, that's probably a casualty of having so many songwriters that tends to dilute the thing you're trying to say. This is another breakup song like The Doors. This is an angrier one than The Doors. I'm sorry, I love you so much, but I have to show you the door. This is much more like, hey, F you, goodbye's been good to you. But I think this song is fire. Like again, the confidence, the way it opens is so cool because you just got like this tense, like the guitar is like just barely there, and as he just sings, and then it's like ba-da-da-dum, everything else comes in after that intro. I think is a really great way to start the song. But as you said, Amy, like this is really in the pocket for him as far as his vocals, right? You got this solid beat as he just kind of sings this. Like this is a roll down your windows, kind of drive along, listen to this song. Really high energy. And again, this is the last time we're going to be in the high energy zone for this album.
Is it really?
It really is.
Such a bummer.
That's the bummer. Is like this is great. This is so high energy and fun, and like, I don't know if it's quite danceable exactly, but it is just like, there's just a confidence and like a swagger to this song that I find really appealing.
Yeah, it's Goodbye's been good to the first side of the album because now we need to go deal with the second side of the album, which is going to be mixed, but still. This was a great first half of an album, by the way. 5 songs here. So this one, we got to talk about this one. This is minor again, 4th minor song in a row. And you guys nailed it all. I mean, the vocals, he's wailing it out on this song. This is not my favorite song on the album, but this is a banger. My favorite song on this album is not a banger, but this is a banger. This is a rockin' one. You can totally feel him with this one. I like that he starts with the chorus. You don't see people do that often, and I think when people do it, it's bold because what they're basically telling you is that this is a strong chorus. I'm giving it to you now. Here, boom. and it doesn't really get old. That's the problem with doing that, is because then you're probably talking 3, 4, 5 choruses in a song, and it's too much. But it doesn't really feel like that with the song. Plus, it's only 2 minutes and 44 seconds, so it couldn't be long enough to really get sick of it. Yeah, this is very strong. I like it. I like it a lot. I wouldn't say I love it, but I like the song. Yeah.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
88.
93.
81.
Okay. Doug, I feel like your score is going to be like a 90%.
No, because we're going to get into the back half of the album.
We're getting there.
By the way, it's not going in the toilet or anything. It's just it's one of those things where, again, individually, I think many of these songs in the back half, they're good, but they do suffer because, again, like that Goodbye's Been Good to You is the last one that's high energy, and having 5 songs in a row that are kind of slow does, I think, cause a problem. It ends up, if you heard some of these songs in isolation, as we'll talk about, I think you might like them more. But hearing all 5 of these, like there were times where, like, even as short as this album is, I'd have to go like, wait, but what did we just go through that song already? We're already on to track number 9. What happened to track number 8? Because my brain would kind of lose connection to the music I was listening to because they're too similar.
Yep.
So we'll move on to Last Communion. So Kyle, I'll let you do the intro.
Yeah, I just got to say, and I won't give away any numbers, but I'm just averaging out the first 5 songs of the album against the second 5 songs of the album. Just looking at those averages, those are very different. We're like talking a wide range of difference there. Maybe I'll give you that stat later if I remember it. But let's move on. Let's flip over the record and get to track number 6, which is Last Communion.
So I let it go with nobody else around. Couldn't watch forever fall face down. So I turned my head a second and hit the ground. And I felt it, but it made no sound. This love's an orphan calling on deaf ears. And there's no afterlife, but if there is, it's late in the night time, so it's the right time. We sleep talking. It was a grand old. Oh yes, I know that nothing more can stay, but I couldn't bring myself to turn that page before I drive a kiss on the grave. One last communion, baby. One last communion.
3 minutes and 37 seconds. And it looks like it is Doug's turn. Go for it.
So I still like this. It is slow. As I said, for all of these songs, they're slow. That doesn't mean they're bad. And I think this is a very pretty song. I think that, again, this is a song where the harmonies are really good. They're going for this kind of gospel-y sound, this almost Little Boys to Men-ish on this. This is very broken down. The Goodbye's Been Good to You is so much like production and bright lights and lasers in your face, and this is the exact opposite. Like there's barely any instrumentation. It's not a cappella, but it's as close as you can get. And this really lets his voice shine. I think this is so pretty. And there's some good lyrics here. He says, this love's an orphan calling on deaf ears. There's no afterlife, but if there is, it's late in the nighttime, so the time is right for sleep talking. Like if I can dream, I can call up this person who's departed. And that's kind of what this whole song is, right? One last communion. This is, you're trying to talk to someone who has passed away. And I think that kind of religious concept fits this gospel-y sound, this religious, kind of choir sound to this song. So I ended up really liking this. Of this grouping of slow songs, I actually think this really this grew on me as I listened to it.
Yeah, me too. This one did grow on me. It is pretty. It's definitely not a high point for me in the album. It's probably pretty close up the middle, maybe on the low side. I like that at this point we're at a different style of song. We haven't heard anything like this. Even the first song, which was a black ballad, and this one's a ballad too, still feels a lot different. So, and plus, it's been 3, 4, 5 songs since we've got to something slow, so it was a nice change. This is very interesting. There's very interesting production happening in this song, which I think gives it a little more points for me. It feels like he sang it in a room, and all the background singers are all around him, behind him, like with one mic, and it's picking up the whole room. It has this cool sort of everyone's there, and they're kind of there, and they're quiet, but you can hear them singing, and it kind of builds as the song goes. So I don't know that I've really heard a lot of stuff like that. It's kind of gospel-y, and that's really cool, especially for, what we've heard so far. It has a very strong verse. It has a decent pre-chorus, and it has a very nice chorus. Yeah, I mean, I think overall I don't really love the song, but I still appreciate it lined up against everything else that we've heard at this point, and this is definitely not bad. This rating is not going to be bad for me. Aim?
Yeah, there's 2 songs on this album that remind me of Justin Bieber. And not of all Justin Bieber, not like Love Your, not all his poppy hits, but there's some songs on, I think it's Holy, that it just really is like reminiscent of, and I don't know Justin Bieber that well, but there's a couple songs that are popular that the production sounds very similar. So I'll try to figure that out, and maybe we can drop like a little clip in. I thought this song really highlighted his vocals. I don't remember the melody at all. It was pretty when I did remember it. I'm just going to talk about it in the past tense because I don't remember it now. This is when I started to kind of go like, I don't understand why this isn't all working for me. It's pretty. The verse wasn't really catchy, but I thought it was pretty, so I thought that kind of dinged the score a little bit. There's some echo, which maybe speaks to what you're talking about with like the people being all in the room, so that kind of lines up. Sounds like extremely heartbroken, so he's emoting very well. Thought it was a little too slow for me, and I didn't hate it, but again, this is one of those songs where it's like I've got it playing when I'm doing something and I forget that I've heard it. So we're starting to enter that territory of, oh my God, I have to go back and listen to this because I don't remember hearing it. And that was kind of like the whole second half of the album for me, and it's like, okay, I've heard this 20 times and I'm still not remembering it. It's not me. This is not an Amy problem. This is a Teddy Swin's production issue. If I can't don't have that callback, it's just because they're like all the same or something's off. So this was, I don't know where my score is. This was okay, but it's not winning any awards in the Amy Grammys.
When is this Grammy show, by the way?
It's every time I pick an album, and it's like 98% for every song.
The Amies.
Oh, there you go. That's nice.
All right, so my score for Last Communion, I gave this an 86. This is my highest score of this half of the album.
Okay. I gave it a 70.
75.
Okay.
Again, these aren't terrible songs. I just don't remember them to save my life.
Okay, we're moving forward here. We are at the 7th song. This one is called You Still Get to Me.
I still see your green eyes every time that I close mine. Barefoot dancing, second glass of gas station wine. Yesterday I found a sweater that you left. Just one more reminder makes it harder to forget. You still get to me every time I find somebody, and I think I'm moving on. You still get to me, and it still tears me to pieces every time I hear that song. 'Cause you're not still the one, but you still get to me. When I go home, I stay up to 85.
It's 3:28, and it is my turn. So this is a well-written song. It's well-written, which means it's got all of its verse, chorus, pre-chorus melodies going on for it. So it's hard to give this one a lot of a bad criticism. This one's so basic though, to where you could really have done it country, you could have did it hair metal, you could have did it like 50s and 60s like Beatles, you could have put any sort of style to this music. And they decided to do it just very kind of broken down, which is kind of boring. I think that if this was some, I don't know, Weezer or something, someone else doing it, would probably be a higher rated song for me. But it was kind of boring and acoustic, so it's okay. I still gave it a pretty good score, but it's not my favorite on here. I really like the chorus, but it's mostly that second part of that chorus. You still get to me, and then it goes dun 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 dun, like underneath it, like on the back half of each line in the chorus. I like that. It's kind of nice. Yeah, I think overall, do the song with a different style, it's probably going to get 10, maybe 15 higher on the point scale for me, but still pretty decent. And right after this, we're going to go take a shit. So this is about where this album stops for me. So this has been a great 7-song EP. Bye. Good night. Go ahead, Amy.
That's so funny because I think the next song is the trashiest song. Okay. This one, though, we're not there. This is like a middle of the road. I think it just like reminds me of like a Dawson's Creek or like a Lifetime movie. Like this is a song that belongs like on a show, like at a certain part of the episode, you know, like where there's like shit happening or they're like a montage or something. I wrote down, it's very Dawson's Creek, very Coast 103.5. And so I don't know if that's good or bad, but that's just what it is to me. It's sad. He's emoting very well. I mean, all the things I'm saying about these songs are kind of like transferable. It could be any song that I'm talking about. I did write down that I think he needs some help with songwriting, and I think he needs some Dan Wilson. I think he needs a Dan Wilson to come in and kind of clean up some things for him, because there's stuff there. There's like a lot of positives, but it just needs like a little extra something. And he's got songwriters. He's got 20 songwriters on every song. He doesn't have the right song. Like he needs a Dan Wilson or like a, you know, any of these guys that are on some of these other songs that we like. That's all I have to say about it. Doug loves it. I'm
no,
sure.
I don't.
Okay.
This is, like I said, this is where things start to fall off. And this song it's pretty, but it is slow. And it's slow without having a lot of energy to it. It's funny, you all said similar. My joke was that this belongs in like a montage of wedding photos.
Yep.
You know, it's just like, yeah, this is generic love songy stuff. He sings it well. I mean, look, the man's got vocal talent. Like, it sounds good. You know, it's pleasing on the ear. But, like, as a song, this was Teflon to me. It didn't stick. You know, it just sort of, like, takes up space. You know, and yeah, this is one of my lower scores.
All right. Points. So, not the lowest for me yet. I gave this one a solid 76.
Yeah, I didn't hate this one. It's an 80 for me.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I gave it a 60. This just did nothing for me.
Okay, that's pretty low for Doug.
Wow.
I didn't know.
I told you, the first half was going to be real high.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
I
It ain't
didn't think
no
it was
four
that bad.
sticks.
Is this your lowest? I guess we'll find out. You don't have to spoil it.
Yeah.
All right, let's enjoy this next end of the album, guys. So track number 8. This is called Suitcase.
Yeah, I'm sorry for the way I've been acting. Running out of time and running on fumes. I'm just trying to keep our airplane from crashing. 'Cause I'm afraid of what you'll find if we do. It ain't lost on me what the cost gon' be. I got a suitcase packed full of lies I keep telling myself 'cause I'm too vain. I hope it's not too late to leave all this baggage behind. Just need a little more space, a little more time. I just need a little more space, a little more time. A little more. Ooh, a little more.
This is 248. Go ahead, rip it a new one, Amy.
I don't even have anything to say because I don't. It's another one of those that I don't fucking remember the thing. But I just remember like listening every time. I was like, "What the fuck is this song?" And I just didn't like it. I didn't remember it. It just kind of fades off as I'm listening. There's nothing grabby in it. I thought it was very like Chat GPT-esque, like write me a Teddy Swims song, Chat GPT, and this is what it would spit out. I wrote down just need the part that's like just need a little more space, a little more time. That part was okay. I don't hate it. There's just not much to praise. It's just very, very basic. The lyrics aren't compelling. Most of the lyrics on this album are not compelling to me. I don't even remember it. I just remember every time I heard it thinking like this is the worst. So, sorry. Can someone sing it for me? I don't know.
I got
Little
a suitcase.
Oh, yeah.
A little more space, a little more time.
Yeah.
Yeah, this isn't great. I looking at it, I don't know why I gave it a higher score than you guys probably did, but I don't know why. I don't feel like rejiggering my math. So what I'll do is I'm gonna swap the score I gave this one to You Still Get to Me, and swap the score I gave. So this will be my 60, and the other which makes more sense now that I'm looking at it. I'm like, yeah, why did I do this that way? Because the part of the problem here is one. The melody is not particularly great, but it's hurt even more by the production. I think it's just like it's slowish, and like we talked about, like some of the places in the first half of the album where the production is so on point. It's so theatrical. It's so good. It like elevates the material, and here it drags it down. Like there's just like you talk about Coast, like that's our local like station that's on in the dentist's office. Right, that's what it's for. Is I don't know who listens to Coast because
I don't even know if it's still Coast.
Unless you're
Everyone's mom who's like 50.
But
their
mom
mom
listened to better songs than this. Like mom was listening to Carole King and Babs and Celine. This is not as good as like a Celine song.
No, I could get my braces put onto this song, and that's kind of where I got to leave it. So this doesn't work. It's again, which is one of those reasons like, oh, why didn't you just wait till those other songs came along? You could have replaced this with one of those, and we would have all been like, woohoo, roll the windows down again. So yeah, sorry, this just does not work.
Yeah, I mostly hate it too. It's not. There are worse songs in the world. This isn't like treacherous. I actually kind of like the groove and the feel. It wasn't horrible. The thing that really killed it for me was the auto-tune vocal. That's never been so obvious. Well, unless it's like your Cher or something where the song was meant to have it. But this, it's like they didn't want you to know that it was being auto-tuned, but it's so obvious. So I lost a lot for that. I'd say the songwriting is kind of It's not really good, but it's not like horrible. It's still a written song. The chorus was a little bit better, but then it does the little more space, a little more time, which just kind of bugged me every time. I just wanted to skip those 4 seconds. But yeah, I mean, we were kind of doing okay. Like first run through this album, I really didn't like it, but then the last, mostly the last 7 songs were everything was a 70 and above. But now it's just like I think I'm kind of done and checking out. So this is going to be the start of that.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's have some fun ratings for this one.
It's a 70. I mean, it's not shit. It's shit, but it's not like shit.
It's shit, but
it's not diarrhea, but it's shit,
Yeah, I had initially given this a 77, but I'm going to swap the 77 over to You Still Get to Me, which is still kind of pretty, and give the 60 to Suitcase. So that way my overall math does not get honked up.
Smart.
Right. Okay. It's also a 60 for me. Just
right.
Above the line of shit. 80 is like the line of good. Below 60 is like the line of shit. So we'll see where we go from here.
I don't think I've been in 50 land very often. It's hard for me to give a 50. That's rough. I mean, at least they're able to write songs, Yeah.
I got some cool stats at the end of this podcast. I got some cool stats from earlier podcast that I'll say, and we'll talk about ratings. So.
Okay. I was going to ask you guys to sing the next song for me too when you get there, because again, I can't remember it. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good. I think we're ready to move on to it, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to some more shit. Second to last song on the album. You know what that means, guys. This is called Flame.
We should put on our favorite records. Pour a little whiskey too early in the day. We could blame it all on the weather. Swear the connection was better in LA. We could use our imaginations, make up a confrontation for the sake of something going on. We should put on our favorite records. If we're lucky, turn tonight into a love song. Yeah. it's alright. Gonna stay right here till he hits us, even if it takes all night. Gonna find the flame we've been missing, baby, it's alright. Gonna stay right here till he hits us, even if it takes all night. Gonna find the flame we've been missing, babe. We could try a couple different angles. Your way or my way, maybe something in between. We could throw it up to the angels. Call in a day, say we gave it everything.
It's track number 9. It's thankfully only 2:24, and it's Doug's turn.
Okay. I don't hate this as much as you guys hate it, but I kind of like, it's got this little like kind of like sparse little beat to hold it together. I think the choruses are what keeps it okay for me, which is that, because it's all right, gonna stay right here till it hits us even. I think that is good. That part's good. The verses are forgettable. And that's kind of the problem with that. But kind of like, at least it has like kind of this, fun little like chirping kind of guitar, keeping us along. I think, again, if you had taken out those last 2 songs, I think, it's too many of the same general slowness of songs in a row that causes the problem. I think this one by itself is okay, but you need it to surround it with more high energy songs so this stands out, as opposed to just feeling like, oh, this feels like the spot in the album where we did need the shot in the arm, instead of the like, the chance to take a breath. So that's kind of, again, an issue with the album as a whole more than this individual song, which I still kind of like. It's okay. But again, I don't think it's the worst song on the album, but for me, I suspect Kyle is about to say that it is. So I'll give it to him.
I don't even want to talk about it. I feel like I'm wasting my breath on this song. I would just rather not even waste my time. Can we just move on? No, I'm just messing. I will talk about it. Yeah, I can't do this. So it reminds me of Justin Bieber. First off, there's a Justin Bieber song, and I don't even really know what it would be called, but Amy said it earlier, but this
Love
is
Yourself.
Justin Bieber.
No,
Probably
that's
it's kind
a
of
great
acoustic
song.
But in terms of
That's
the production is like, Love Yourself is just all the times you rain on my parade, and there's just one guy on a guitar going like, chick.
There's nothing wrong with that. How dare you?
I feel lame listening to that, and I feel embarrassed listening to this song. It's just bad. I just can't take it. It might not be
Ed
that
Sheeran song, by the way. Justin Bieber didn't even write it, but I like that song.
This song reminds me of it, and it's just misery. Like I said, I feel embarrassed listening to this song. I would not want to turn this up. The chorus is a copy of 500 other songs. Do, do, do. I can't tell you what they are, but that is not an original melody at all. I probably could only get through this song like 4 times, because every time it kicked into that chorus, I just didn't want to listen anymore. I literally didn't really start listening to the full version of the song until like a few days ago. Even when the trumpet solo comes in and you're like, cool, there's another instrument, it doesn't do anything melodic. It's just kind of lame. I do not like this. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. I just want to turn this off when it's on. This is going to be the lowest score I've ever given. This is worse than speed dimming. Let's just move on.
Wow. Okay, well, I didn't actually hate it. I didn't think it deserved like the second to last worst, song of the album situation. I think Suitcase was worse. I wrote down Justin Bieber, but I don't think it sounds like Love Yourself. I think it sounds like something else.
Kill Yourself? Maybe that.
That song, so Love Yourself was supposed to be called Fuck Yourself, and they thought it sounded cooler with Love Yourself. But I'm trying to think of like, maybe like Ghost of You. Is that what we're thinking of? I'd settle for the ghost of you. That's what it sounds like. It's not Love Yourself. Let's talk after this, because I want to play both of those songs and I want you guys to figure it out.
No, I don't want to. That's okay.
Okay. Well, whatever. I think whatever. I think that it's all right. That part reminds me of Saved by the Bell. The lyrics,
because it's all right because I'm saved by the bell.
Yeah,
Okay.
I thought that was like a whatever. I don't think it's the worst. I think it has a nice chorus. It's pretty. Sorry, Kyle. It doesn't get super dynamic, and I thought the horns were really reminiscent of another song, but I couldn't place it. Overall, it was fine for me. It's definitely not the worst. Sorry. I want to know what the score is. Can we guess?
Yeah, I mean, well, Doug, you go first.
Yeah.
But
I gave it
yes.
an 80. I didn't hate it that much.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Okay.
Well, I'll tell you, Speed Demon was a 52. So
Okay.
go ahead.
I'm gonna guess 43.
Yeah, I was gonna say something about there.
That was the rate. I got there by thinking about how much worse was it. It was only a little bit worse. It was a 48.
Okay.
Worst
Got
of
it.
all time for me.
83 for Ames.
All right, moving on to the last song. Last song of the record, track number 10. This is called Evergreen.
Took a while to make this bed. Tired of living in my head. Torrential longings I ignore. Never felt like this before. Oh, I think that I can love you through the darkness, through the cold. 'Cause I'm feeling something when you're next to me. You fuel my fire like some kerosene. We're intertwined with nothing in between. Cross your heart, promise you'll never leave. Feeling something when you're next to me. I have walls up that nobody sees, but you crash through me like an evergreen. Cross your heart, promise you'll never leave. Sorry that my heart's a mess, but you keep me from spiraling.
246, and it's me. So this isn't the worst, but it very much feels like the first song on the album, like the phrasing, the melody, all of it. So I get why it's the closer. I think that Last Communion, just the fact that it's last and it's slower and it's more pretty, would have been a better way to end the album. But I get that they did it this way because it kind of brings you back to where you did. See, the thing about the first song was, even though I really, really liked it, it still felt familiar. But it was still okay because it was so pretty. This song doesn't really take me anywhere, so it's definitely not as good. In fact, it's one of the lowest ratings, but it's not misery like the last one. The chorus does this descending line where it goes doon, doon, or kind of goes down, which is sort of like the opposite of like uplifting. I would want something more uplifting for a part like that, and it kind of does the opposite. Voice doesn't sound bad in this song, and I don't think that it's a badly written song, but I think the fact that we just came out of two pretty crappy ones is that this one's like, well, we did never really recover. This is going to be a pretty low rating. Yeah, not so much.
Okay. This is another one I don't even remember it, you guys. I feel like my scores should be more in line with the fact that I don't remember half of these songs. But when I hear them, they're okay. It's not misery, but so we're slowing down again. It feels like another song we've already heard, like you just said. At this point, I don't want to hear another fucking same song. Like, I've heard it. I'm done. Like, that's basically what I wrote down. I wrote, by the end of the album, I get it. We've heard everything that there is to hear. There's nothing else to be added. There are some pretty runs. His voice sounds good. It's not up for debate that he has a good voice. He just needs some refining of the songwriting and the production. That's all. So I hope that, he was able to, in future albums, kind of get his hands on some better help, some more help, maybe. Because there's something there. I mean, he's talented. But not everybody who has a nice voice deserves a record deal. And I don't know if that's what we're dealing with here. You got to have that, like, it factor. And I don't know if that's, I don't know if it's there.
I definitely think it's there. I mean, that's obvious from The Door and from Lose Control. Like, it's there. So to get to this song, I agree with you. Like, I think part of the problem is it's not just the writing, it's the selection. It's the song selection. Because, it's like, again, I will harp on this again. Hammer to the Heart and Apple Juice, the first two like bonus tracks on that bonus version, rule. They're way more like The Door and Lose Control than these other ones we've been talking about. And it's one of those things where it's like, maybe it was that they rushed to get it out. And if they had waited, then it would have gone like, ooh, wait, we can take those out and put those in. And then, the scores would be way up. So did my thoughts on this last one here, Evergreen. This is a Chris Stapleton song to me. This is what every Chris Stapleton song sounds like this. Just sort of a country song. But yeah, you guys both said it. Like the melody of the verse for this song is almost exactly the melody for the first song, Some Things I'll Never Know. And it's weird. Because like the melody for the first one, right? It's walking down the street last night, watching strangers pass me by. Right? That's Something They'll Never Know. Evergreen is, took a while to make this bed. Tired of living in my head. Like it's the same line, or barely different. Right now, the chorus for this is entirely different. It's a wholly different thing. So it's not a whole copy. And I don't know if the idea was like maybe this is meant to be a bookend in that way, like it's supposed to call back to it.
Yeah.
But if it is, it doesn't add anything. It's not additive. It's not interesting enough. This if you're told me Brian Wilson did something like this, it would be way more elaborate and like an obvious like callback as opposed to just feeling like, wait, didn't I already hear that? So again, this is fine. This is just pleasant. It's okay. But it doesn't excite me in any way. It's not interesting. It doesn't, get your blood pumping. It's just sort of, again, another montagey, pretty song. And the problem is, again, by this point in the album, we don't need any more of those. We have enough of those. So I think that'll be reflected in my score for it.
All right, scores. Pretty low for me, 63.
Sorry, I got off the page already. 77.
I gave it a 70.
Okay, pretty good spread. We did it, guys.
All right, that was the fastest I think we've ever analyzed a record.
Well, there's only 10 tracks.
Yeah, and we just don't give a shit about some of them.
Some of them were, yeah. All right, so we got through track by track. Time for our favorites and our least favorites. So Kyle, I'll throw it to you first. We know what your least favorite is. That's not a mystery.
Yeah, Flame, definitely the least favorite. Favorite was actually the lead-off track, so Some Things I'll Never Know. Just like Bic Runga, she had that first ballad, number one, on track on the album. This was the best for me. Second would probably be Lose Control.
All right, for Amy, I liked The Door and Lose Control. And there was another one in there, the Goodbye's Been Good to You or something like that.
I think.
And then the least favorite was that Suitcase song.
Yeah, I transplanted my least favorite to Suitcase. It just didn't do much for me. I think my favorite one was The Door. I had that slightly higher than Lose Control, but again, not a surprise. Those two were the singles. Those are the big, ones. I think we all had positive things to say about those. So
yeah,
that's where we are. So now it's time for final thoughts. Kyle?
Do we do our total score now? Or do you want to do that?
Yeah, our aggregate score. Yeah, go ahead.
That comes before final thoughts?
I think so. We never actually wrote it down in the outline.
Yeah, we would do what we want, guys, right?
We still don't have a sign off.
Yeah,
we got time to figure this out.
Right.
All right.
Scores first.
Final scores. Okay.
I thought we did overall.
Okay, we'll do our
let's
do our final thoughts. Go ahead, Kyle. Give us your overall final thoughts.
Yeah, overall, I don't think I would come back to this guy. It's just very pop for me, and it's not a lot of energy. But his voice is really good, so I again like this experiment. I think if the first 7 songs on the album has a very high, if I look at that just alone, it's a really high rating, which is not what the album's going to be. So I was kind of bummed that it ended kind of in the shitter. I wish that this was just a 7-song EP. I probably would have wanted to move on to more of his stuff. But overall, it was fine. It's going to end up being one of my lower albums, but I'm still grateful for this process. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay. So for me, the pros are great vocals. It's very raw. There's some really strong melody. He's emoting things very well. The cons are that the songs are very blurred. A lot of them sound very similar. A lot of the lyrics are just very basic. I think the way people consume music these days, you can put a lot of effort into albums and people still consume albums as a whole, but he might just be a guy that maybe he just should release a couple of good songs here and there and just release the good ones. You don't have
singles.
Make some singles and that's fine. You don't have to push a whole album out. So yeah, I don't know that I'll come back to most of these except if they're coming on my Pandora.
Yeah, it's interesting because this is a freshman effort. right? This is his first album, so it's a little hard to know, does he have more in the tank, And my suspicion is he does, and it's because it seems like I don't know how much he's got his hand on the songwriting here with so many other people. So it's like if you pair him with the right people, does he knock it out of the park? Because there's plenty of people like that aren't as involved in the writing, but they're very good performers or vocalists and stuff. And it's like if you match him with the right people, he's on a rocket ship to the moon. So I would say for people who are maybe interested in this, or probably have heard Lose Control, and or The Door, and like that stuff, I would say, again, get the 1.5 version of the album and just skip from, say, Last Communion to the bonus tracks, and you'll have a much better time. It'll be a much smoother ride, and you'll be like, yeah, this guy is great. I don't know what they were talking about. It's like, well, it's because, probably if anything, there's market pressures involved. And, I think, Amy, you were dead on of like, oh, they probably rushed to get an album out, which hurt this. And, it says something for like, it's worth taking the time to get it right. You won't need a 1.5 of your album to fix it in post. So, again, the songs on this I absolutely love, and we'll come back to again because they remind me of great stuff from the 60s that I grew up with and the 70s. So, yeah, like I said, I did not expect everybody to love all of this album because I knew it fell off at the end, but that still made it worth, I think, examining and talking about for the podcast. So I'm still glad I made the choice I made to have you guys listen to it. And I am very excited for what we're about to hear from Amy, because I know even as of when we started recording, Amy had not settled on what she was about to assign us for next episode. So,
and we're not there yet. We still got numbers to do.
Oh, yes. You've got a little more time to
I'm
get
still
to wait,
thinking
folks.
Kyle's got some data he wants to share with us,
All
too.
right,
so we got lots of exciting things coming up.
while you stall for time. Okay.
I got it. I think I got it. And as of like an hour ago, I had no idea I was doing this.
Okay.
I've completely switched.
Wow.
You got 3 minutes. I mean, you still
It could
got
switch
time.
again. We don't know.
We better go quick. Kyle, what's your score for
Total aggregate score for this album for me, 71.7.
Wow, that's gotta be the lowest.
for you? Yeah.
We will talk. We will talk about that.
79.5.
82.8.
79.5 for Amy and 82.8 for Doug.
Yes.
All right. So some statistics about all the podcasts that we've done, guys. And believe it or not, this is our 14th. So what I did is I went through and I got, I'm going to go through the albums that are less than a 75, so low, and then 85 and above. So you're going to hear everything that's less than a 75 and above 85. We'll look at Amy first. Amy, you only have one that's less than a 75, and that is the Muse, Black Holes and Revelations. And you had three that were 85 and above. Sha, James Morrison, and then Bic Runga. So all your own choices, which of course makes sense. You're going to pick albums that you like. Doug, you don't have any that are below a 75. Your
I don't
lowest,
have any that are above it. Oh, no, maybe Revolver was above.
You have a couple above it. Your lowest looks like it's 9 Life, 77, still pretty decent.
Mm-hmm.
You have two above it, Revolver, and then Bad was actually the 86.
Okay, close.
For me,
Yeah.
it's pretty close. Yeah, for me, I got a lot of each. So my lowies, I got the James Morrison, Bic Runga, Goths, which was my lowest, and then this album, Teddy Swims.
What was your lowest? What was the Goths rating for you?
71. Oh, I'm sorry. Drive was a 70.95.
Okay.
And
Wow.
They're all in the same, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's and then we can actually look at our guests too. Sophie was on this podcast twice, and both of hers were above. So American Egypt and Revolver above 85. Rick was on this podcast once, and his was actually a 71.2.
I love
For his
that,
own
though.
album.
His own
mean,
album.
He's
was
an
one of the
artist. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's a
and
good
he used
dude.
he used the whole scale too. So some of his were
Yeah.
really low. Yeah, some really high ones.
Yeah.
So that's my numbers. I think, Amy, you're out of time. It's time.
Okay. All right. Well, so I knew I wanted to pick a female. And so I've been going through it. I'm just going to talk you through my process. Not that anyone gives a fuck. But I was like, okay, do I pick something that's like really popular and like, you guys are going to, or at least Kyle's going to like it. So I don't have to listen to your bullshit complaints. Like,
Oh, you're going to hear my bullshit.
so I went there for a minute and then I was like, no, I got to stick true to Amy. And then I was like, no, that's way too Amy. And it was like a female and a guitar. And I'm like, everyone's going to fucking hate that. So I was like, no, we'll save that for another time. So I've landed on blues. We're going to do a blues album. We're going to do an album from 1998, which neither of you probably know. It's called Just Won't Burn by Susan Tedeschi. And it's quiet.
I'm trying to think, because I've been in your car. And I'm trying. Give me the song that I would know from being in your car.
It hurts, it hurts, it hurts so bad.
Oh, that is very bluesy.
Yeah, it's a blues album. She wrote probably 50% of the songs. I don't think she wrote all of them.
Oh,
so
that's
I don't
the one
know
that steals from Oh Darling, that song.
Okay, save your commentary,
Yeah. I
asshole,
know
for
it.
later.
It's the same riff. I'm not.
I don't think it is.
Okay, we'll see about that. We'll put those side by side.
But yeah, I didn't know if it was disqualified because she didn't write every single song or if it was like two other people writing them heavy. But I just went for it because I think her producer wrote a lot of the tracks. So I feel like that qualifies it.
11
Whatever.
songs, right?
Yeah, there's a bonus track situation going on because it's like its 25th or 30th edition, whatever, or 30th year. So it's just the first, I don't know.
I think it's 11 is what it looks like to me if I were to look at the album, but
I think it's 11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
yeah, you'll know some of these songs because there's other versions of them out there. But yeah, let's see what happens. It's blues. There's something for us to dig into. I think there's a lot of like interesting instrumentations and things like that. So
Awesome.
okay.
that's what we're going to do.
We a new one. Nice.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, so it's time for plugs and things. Amy, if they want to find your awesome earrings, where do they go?
You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, Etsy under Momo Bunnies More Co. There'll be a link in the show notes.
Kyle?
Go check out my music, folks. Silver Dork is the band name, and we've got an album called Seconds, so go check it out.
And as for me, I am the host of two other podcasts. There is Nostalgium Arcanum, which is a pop culture retrospective that not only covers music, but movies, TV shows, video games, all kinds of stuff. That's a weekly show. And then if you go to patreon.com/stillloadingpod, you can go there and listen to me talk about the Muppets once a month. We have a show called Still Muppeting, where we're doing all kinds of different Muppet things. And if you want to get in touch with us, our social media links are in the show notes. Go there. That's the easiest way to reach out to us. If you have time and are so inclined, drop a review for the podcast. That would be a great help to help more people find it, as would word of mouth. We would love you to tell a friend if you enjoyed listening to this. And please play along. So, we always put in what your homework is for next time, so you can listen to the album and share your thoughts with us on that music before we even get there. So that'll do it for this episode. And until next time, we still don't have a sign off.
So good night.
Bye.
Got your crown on my shoulder, and I know better than to listen. Just because you're staying over doesn't mean that you're forgiving. We both know what you done. Don't love anyone but yourself. Oh, just when I think I found the strength to go and push you away. I pull you in again, though I'm such a sucker for the pain. Baby. I'm helpless, baby. Poison in your hands, bound to fall apart. You know how to break me, hammer to the heart. Capturing it, passion, and then capture me, trap me instead. Happy to die, now we're wrapped in the sheets of your bed. Ooh, no, the only way.